you for having me and my colleague Mazen Mohammed Nasif. Our research title is Evolution of Roof Systems in Ancient Coptic Churches from the 4th to 9th centuries. We are tracing the evolution of the structured roof systems in ancient Egyptian Coptic churches from the 4th to 9th centuries, standing on the causes and influences that produced the formation of such roof systems and the changes that led to their development. We need to have a broad overview of the design and construction of the roof structure systems used in the ancient Coptic churches. Our methodology is divided into 3 parts. The first part is to study the role of the roofing in the ancient Coptic churches, whether physical, environmental, and spiritual. Then we are going to trace the types of roof systems in this same period. Then we are going to analyze the floor plans of the churches between the 4th and 9th centuries to trace or to percept the roofing systems. Our research problem also is to because of the lack of the information about the Coptic history in general and the history of architecture, there is a very limited research related to the architecture or history of architecture for that period compared with other periods in Egypt. And our goal here is to clear the blurry picture of the history of architecture in that time. The role of roof system as an architectural element in the Coptic churches, it played three roles. The physical role is not just a shelter from the physical dangers. It is also a way or a mean to of concealment from the eyes of enemies, because practicing Christianity at the beginning was forbidden. And there's another evidence for that is the placement on the of the apse on the eastern side. It is equal to the elevation and not protruded as usual in Roman basilicas. Environmentally, studying the Coptic churches environmentally and the roof systems also illustrated the interaction between the ancient Coptic culture and the local environment in Egypt, and it illustrates the their treatments to their environmental treatments in the architecture and roofing system that produced their own architecture character. Spiritually wise, the roof system reflected the Christian culture, where they when they build one dome, it symbolizes the God. 3 domes symbolizes the Trinity. 4 domes. 5 domes symbolize the Jesus Christ and the 4 angels, and so on. Every thing in the roof, even the openings and the number, represents a certain concept in the Christian culture. By tracing the evolution of roof systems in the 4th and 9th century, we have to overlook on their inherited knowledge, where Egyptians know the vaults and how to build vaults since ages before. We can see here the temple of Ramses II at Purna, and here are the workers' village at Al-Amarna. They used wooden beams and covered it with mud mixture. Also, there is imposed culture from the Roman building culture. We see the first reconstruction of the St. Peter, where it is covered This is a basilica plan and covered with timber gabled roof. Also, from the paintings on the domes of Bagawat that go back to this time, also we can notice that they know the gabled roof and the multi-domed or multi-vaulting roof systems. This is how we can trace, using their knowledge and the floor plans, how they evoluted their structure system of the roofs, where we can perceive that during the 4th century they only used the flat roofed and the vaulted roof, where in the 5th century they used more combined roofs between vaults and flat roofs, or vaulted roofs, or domed, like the Byzantine influence that time. Where in the 6th and 7th century, they didn't use the flat roof so much, but alternatively, they used the vaulted roof, domed roof, or combination between the domes and vaults. During the 8th and 9th century, there is a cross-culture between the Islamic influences and the Christian influences occurred that time. So they tended to use the vaults and domes as well, and the combinations between domes and vaults were during the 7th and 6th centuries, the combined roof was between the flattened roof and the vaults. Here, they using the vaults and domes, like the Church of Mar Boktor at Luxor. Also, the documented cross-section of Church St. Mary at Wadi Natrun, we can see the treatment of the vaults and domes in pointed form, and that is an Islamic influence. So, as long as we have no records providing the shape of the building's construction system, this paper put a set of perceptions for the kind and form of the coverage of the Coptic churches. And here we can trace how this evolution took its place. Also, this study emphasizes the idea of multiculturalism, how the form of the plan evolved a long time, and as well the construction techniques and the roof and the form of the roof system also evolved. Also, we found that the structured roof systems during the ancient Coptic periods was not just an architectural element that worked functionally, but it has its own dynamics with the local culture and political situation and the social situation as well. We were able also to illustrate in a tangible way the ancient Egyptian Coptic identity through the overlap between the Christian culture and the local Egyptian character. Finally, we recommend to make more deep researches about the history of Coptic architecture and to reveal the ambiguity between the relationship of the Coptic architecture and the environmental aspects and sustainability aspects. We need to know more about the methodology of design and the semiotics, and there is many fields between the Coptic architecture, the history of Coptic architecture, and other fields that we can find the relationship between them. Also, to know more information about, or to make a clear picture about that time, we need more researches and more excavations. We need to research to deepen the research about their products, their culture products, arts, potteries, icons, literature. This gives us some clues as an architects to know more and more about their architecture. Thank you for listening to us.